Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Scouts Tarot, where curiosity and the divine combine. So this is your September reading. We are okay. Can't even get my sentence out. So I will be doing a 3-card spread. Energy leading into September, from August, your energy throughout September, and then your energy leading into October. And then, okay, I just can't even finish my sentence. Oh yeah, let's flip this guy over. Gee willikers, Batman. And then I will use 3 oracle decks to add some clarity to these 3 cards. So, tons of fun, Scorpio. Hope you're ready to go, because these cards certainly are. Jeez Louise. Okay, ooh, a lot of king energy. We are just powerful, aren't we, coming into September? Okay, so this spread, or this reading, is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and potentially Venus. Should this reading lean into the romance section? And if it doesn't resonate, feel free to check out your Sun, Moon, or Rising, whichever one, with the other videos that I have uploaded. But okay, let's jump in. So first card, again, energy leading from August into September, we have the Moon card. So this is one of the major arcanas, and the Moon card is for me, as I describe it, is almost like the light in the dark, right? Like when a moon is full, it is, things that are normally kept in the shadows when the moon is new is now lit when the moon is full. And I always view the moon card as a full moon, right? It's bright, shining. Look at all that. It's just lit up. Dogs is barking. Like, it is an active place when the moon is full. So for me, and as I'm interpreting through the divine energies here, is that for you, August was illuminating for you, right? We had, August 2021, so we had full moon in Aquarius just like a week ago, and it was a blue moon too. So it was like, this is a powerful moon energy here, and it is about like lighting up the things that are sometimes kept in the shadows, things that are usually hidden, things that you don't necessarily see, or things that you only see once a month, and then you get a blue moon and that jank is lit up twice, and you're like, just in case you didn't catch it the first time, here we are the second time around. So this is that taking the opportunity to revisit that which you normally don't discuss, or normally don't, I guess, discuss isn't the right word, but I guess feel, right? Things that you normally like, I'm going to feel that later. Like Scorpio's like your deep water sign. So you guys have feelings, like you all about feelings and stuff. But sometimes it's easier to just like pretend that everything is okay, right? The moon is an illusion card as well, where it's kind of like you kind of get to pretend that you're something else in the dark, right? That you don't necessarily have to be who you are in the sunlight, because you can't hide it in the sun, right? The sun gonna light shit up, like you can't hide that. But at night when the moon isn't here, you can do whatever you want. You can be your authentic self if you want to, or you could hide your true feelings. So I feel like, August going into September, that this energy of revealing the truth in how you feel about stuff is what is kind of what I'm picking up here, is that you may have been willing to hide your feelings or your emotional state, how you really feel about issues like projects. Yes, it could be about relationships, but it could be about your job as well, right? Like, yes, sir, I will get on that. I am super passionate about this work. And in reality, you're like, oh my God, I don't have like even half a fuck to get for this job. Like, but you're still doing it because you're presenting a certain aspect of yourself to either your boss or your workmates, whatever it is, when in reality, your true self, your authentic self is, something you've been hiding, something you've been covering up, or just, not necessarily trying to bring attention to it, right? Like these dogs is barking, right? They loud as hell. Like, you can't cover that up. So you may have been trying to like hide your true self somewhere else. And August, especially again with like that full moon in Aquarius, that a lot of that is about revealing, you know, the depths of us and our true passions in the world. And I think going into September, especially with this King of Wands energy, is that you're like, you know what? I'm going to own my passion. I'm going to own what makes me feel, you know, that allows me to feel comfortable to express myself, that allows me to take what I enjoy, the passion that I have in the world, and wield it, right? Like, to me, the King of Wands energy is kind of like the, I don't want to be like the Dumbledore card, but it's kind of like Dumbledore had a lot of magic, right? He had a lot of manifestation skills. He knew what he was up to. He knew what he was doing, and he wielded that shit, right? He was swishing and flicking. He had the whole Elder Wand the entire damn time. Like, what? Like, if I'm getting it right, it's been a while. But in any case, like, he wasn't hiding necessarily his true self. He kept some things hidden, which the moon is about, also keeping some things under wraps. You don't always have to be honest in terms of like presenting your true self to people. Not everybody deserves to know your true self, right? Sometimes it's better to keep things, you know, personal, keep things under wraps, especially you, Scorpio, about that depth and like keeping things deep down and only revealing who you are for real with the folks that you want to, the ones you have passionate attachments to, or you feel like you can trust, that, you know, if they dip a toe in your deep waters, they ain't gonna sink to the bottom. You got to pull them out. Like, you think, you know, can you swim, kid? Like, what is this? And I think leaning into September and your energies throughout September is that you're finally going to sit on your throne and get to decide, you know what? I'm not going to hide myself anymore. I'm going to pick up my wand. I'm going to creatively express myself. I'm going to use that which inspires me to empower me, to put me in a position where I feel like I have control, that I get to decide what I do with my life, or what I do with my love, what I do with my passion. Like, this is you taking control over what makes you feel inspired, what makes you feel in a position of not just sharing, but creating. And I think for a lot of Scorpios, sometimes like that's a deep energy for you guys. Like, if you get your passions from the depths, that it takes a lot of effort to pull that up and then to own it too. Like, that can be, that's a big energy. Which then leads us into the energies that are going from September into October, and that's the King of Cups, which is definitely a big like, it can represent like Scorpio in itself, or water signs in general. But the cups, again, emotional fulfillment. It is, yes, love, romance, all that jazz and stuff. But it's also about like, well, what fills your cup up, right? Like, if you are dying of thirst, are you looking for water? Are you looking for wine? Are you looking for rum? Are you looking for beer? Like, what, you know, Kool-Aid, whatever. Like, you don't have to be alcohol. But like, what is it that fills your cup up? And when you're in a King of Cups position, this is more so about like expressing and owning that which makes you feel good. And when you, as the King of Wands, especially again throughout the month of September, embodying this energy, it's about, okay, let me find what inspires me, because you likely found that in August by expressing your true self, or having some time to revisit who, you know, your passions are, what you really want out of life during the day, and not just who you are at night. Like, you want to be the person you are, you know, at home, perhaps outside as well, and expressing that part of yourself, or having, you know, expressing that part of yourself with another person, or expressing that with a project or a job, whatever it is. And then with the King of Wands energy, it's like, okay, now that I know what it is, now I got to own that. Now I got to figure out, how do I wield this power? Now that you have the Elder Wand, you found the Elder Wand, you know, in August, and now you have it in September. What can you do with it? And as you're working through September, the goal is to come out of September going into October loving the work that you've done, loving the passions that you have, that you have now transitioned from passion into love. You're like, oh my God, this is fantastic. I just love this person that I'm becoming. I've leaned into it and now I'm feeling it. And yeah, this again could be that emotional romantic state, because it's the cups, that it could be now that you have this passion, now you want to share this passion with someone, right? Like, you want to be able to express this passion as love, as romance, as that connection with another person. You want to share your cup with them. So this is very, you know, this is both depth as well as growth that we got here. So Scorpio, we're going to do an oracle reading for our moon card, and this is the Oracle of the Seven Energies deck. So we're gonna slide our kings over so the moon can be in the center, which I hope is the center. Apologies for the harsh lighting, the awkward camera angle. We are making this work. So I appreciate your patience as we experience this growing period. But okay. I'm in my magic, spiritually aligned. What is the energy of the moon card for Scorpio going into September? Celestial divine. I'm in my magic, spiritually aligned. What is the energy around the moon card for Scorpio? Celestial divine. Solo uno card. Oh, that was just so sweet. Thank you for not throwing yourself at me. My God. All right. We have broken open. Oh my God. I do refer to the book as I read through, and it is number 28. Hopefully that is right at the center and you can see that. So, broken open. There are situations in life when you see the value of loss, grief, and a broken heart. Yet, it's not the pain or loss itself that must be the focus of your attention here. No. Not even the story of what happened, the details surrounding what has brought you to your knees is as important as what results from the experience. Can you see that this situation has broken you wide open, enabling you to have an even greater capacity for love, compassion, empathy, and understanding? You cannot be the same person as before. The only way forward is to move through it without resistance or manipulation, without attempting to bargain with unseen forces, because none of your usual fallbacks can put you back together again. I mean, whatever it was that you were trying to hide, Scorpio, whatever it was you were trying to protect even, especially if it's like your emotional state, like you got to be able to share your whole self with the person, right? Or if you're trying to build a project of passion, you got to be your authentic self. And if you have been dealing with as this card breaks down, loss, grief, a broken heart, if you, yes, love, but could also be like a previous job where it failed you, if you're so focused on the pain and the vulnerability that in the sharpness of that experience, that you're not going to be able to move forward, not authentically, not really. The only way for you to move forward is to recognize that, whatever facade you had up before, it's shattered, right? Whatever illusion you were trying to present is done, is wiped away, is dissolved, it's melted, whatever it is, broken open. You have to recognize that you're not the same person as before. That however it is that this situation is making you feel, this person is making you feel, the project, the family member, whatever it is, whatever it was that you felt before, you can't treat it the same way anymore. You can't relate to it the same way anymore. You're not the same person anymore. You've grown, right? The last year and some change has been, a lot of growth and development for a lot of people on a scale most folks probably did not, see coming. So as you're making your way into September, you can't sit back and react the same way that you used to react and put up the same walls that you used to put up, to hide yourself as you used to hide, or treat people the same way you did before, because you're different now. Things have changed. Something has shifted in you. And the moon card, while it sometimes is safe to just stay in that, cyclical pattern of like new moon, first quarter, third quarter moon, full moon, back to new moon. Like, sure, you can stay in that pattern, but you're not going to progress anywhere, right? You got to break that pattern, and you already know that you're different. You already know something's off. You can't go back to the way it was before. And as the book says, if you do fall prey to self-absorption or self-pity, it will just make it harder to get to the next gradual phase leading to relief. Did I not just talk about the phases of the moon? Good Lord. Yet, even if you are prolonging the inevitable, you will get there eventually. The gift is in accepting who you've become as a consequence of integrating this difficult experience and allowing yourself to be more than you were. Be more than you were. Oh, wait, I'm covering it up. Is that it? This wisdom comes at a high price, but the value of your experience of moving through and to the other side is unsurpassed. Love the you that is the result of being broken open by life's challenges and lessons. Wow. Yeah, I mean, the moon card is a card of illusion, right? It's now I'm here and now I'm not, right? With full moon to new moon. But it's a predictable phase, right? You know that the moon is going to come back. You know that the moon is going to disappear. Yeah, it's a play. It's a pattern. You have to break that pattern, Scorpio. You have to get out of your habitual reactions to things. Yep, yes, sir, I'll get that work done. Or, nope, not interested. Thanks, though. Or, I'm good, actually. Like, whatever it is, your normal responses to things, it's not gonna fly anymore. If you want to get to this point, to this King of Wands energy of not just, like I said, honoring your passions, but then owning your passions and creativity. In order for you to get to Dumbledore, you've got to get out of this like Dobby phase, right? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm leaning so much into Potter. But yeah, you got to get out of this phase of yes sir, no sir, I'm just gonna do the thing and thanks, I'm gonna go home and clock out. Whatever it is, like you gotta break that. You gotta get out of that, Scorpio. All right, so now we're gonna use Wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck to dive into your King of Wands energy. So let's select this down, keep that here, and now King of Wands. So this is your energy throughout September, right? Your Dumbledore energy, your manifestation energy, you're leaning into your passion energy, the taking control of the way in which you self-express. So let's see. Okay, let's try that again. I'm in my magic, spiritually aligned. What energy does Scorpio need to embody throughout the month of September? Celestial Divine. I'm in my magic, spiritually aligned. What energy does Scorpio need to embody throughout the month of September? Celestial Divine. You're looking for one card, maybe two, ideally one. Solo uno, por favor, Celestial Divine. Can I get to, okay, one card. This was still another 5. Okay, so y'all, this is some work for you, Scorpio. Like, the only when my cards are either, if they're not coming out at all, like they're not flippers or jumpers or skitters or whatever, if they're coming out in heaps as they are, this is heavy for you. Like, this is not something you're used to doing, either because of, fear of failure or feel of somebody judging you or criticizing you, that maybe it's just easier to like keep yourself on the low, not connect, keep it easy, keep it fun, keep it simple, right? Why complicate things? Why invite people into the depths of your soul? Like, you don't need all that. It's fine. You can keep it the surface level. You good. You can just like, doggy paddle. No Olympic divers here. Y'all keep the fuck out. Right? And you're at that point, like the moon, like I said, that blue moon in August, like it's pulling you forward. It's pulling you out of this shell, right? It's breaking it down for you, and you have to recognize that, something has changed in you, something is different, and you get to be somebody, right? You get to be your authentic self. So why are you hiding that? You don't have to share yourself with everyone, but if you know that you're reacting to a new situation, new relationship, new project, new dynamic in your life, and you know the way that you're reacting doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel authentic, but you're doing it anyway because it's just what you remember, Scorpio, you hurting, your project, your person, whatever it is, and yourself. Okay. One card, guys. One card. We're going to do this one more time. And I know you guys can do it. I know this is difficult for Scorpio because this is way outside their normal. They'd much rather just, sit back and keep to themselves and interact when they want to. And then keep all the rest out, right? Use little pinchers, the stinger in your tail and be like, no, get the fuck out. I did not say you could come in here. What are you doing? Get out. Right? Like you're okay with keeping people on the outer rim. You're okay with keeping projects at arm's length. Like, yep, I did my part. I'm not doing any extra, and goodbye. I did my part. You're beyond parts, right? You're now trying to own your space. You're trying to take up space, and you can't do that if you're still operating in the same function as you did a year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago. The last job, the last 2 jobs, the last relationship, the last 4 relationships. Like, you can't keep with these patterns. You got to break your phase, Scorpio. All right, can I get one card, Spirit? One card for Scorpio. I know this is hard for them because this is not the typical space that they feel comfortable in. And so I know their energies are super confused right now. Yeah, you just got like jumping through hoops. Like somebody is tired. Ooh, shit. Thank you very much. That you guys are tired. You're tired of jumping through hoops. And we got, the Lady of the Gift. All right, let's see. Oh, let me not put the book here. So Lady of the Gift for your King of Wands September energy. And that is number 20. All right, 20. Ugh, 2020. Jeez. Sorry, everybody. Okay. The Lady of the Gift brings a message of tithing. To be your ally, she requires you to look at the nature and method of your giving to others. The world is your church, and you only need to distribute 10% of your wealth to others to ensure that the flow continues. Okay, so this is, you can lean into the church thing, but for me, this is that passion, right? When you have a gift in the world, like a gift that can benefit other people, it's, as my mother says, it's a sin if you don't share your gift with the world, especially if that gift that you have to give can help somebody else on their journey, can help them help somebody else. And this is this aspect of pay it forward. And the King of Wands, and let's see. So the King of Wands is not an energy of like, I'm going to keep it to myself. It is, I'm going to use my power for the betterment of my kingdom, right? I'm going to use my passion to empower others. I'm going to use my creativity to establish new ways of getting stuff done, to be innovative, to help others, get to their point of success too. All right, back to the book. Here we are. The kind of tithing the lady asks of you isn't tangible or material at all. She's asking you to look at all human beings as important in the divine scheme of things and show others that you believe in them, right? When you can believe in yourself, when you stop hiding yourself from the world and you break open into this new space of who you are, and you can lean into the energies, your own divine creative energies, other people will recognize that in you. They'll see that gift in you, and you can empower them to lean into their gift as well. Back to the book. Pay attention to how you treat people and be mindful of your perception, even of seemingly poor strangers. If you see others as successful and abundant and act as if you believe they have value, blessings all around are assured. Your belief in others has greater value than you could fathom. This alone guarantees your success long term. Remember that you can only keep what you're willing to give. Scorpio, you gotta drop that facade. You gotta lean into who you really are. And as you do that, you will see your gift of passion, your creativity, reciprocate in the world around you and the people around you, right? So let's say this is in terms of a job. So if you have a project on deck, and instead of like Yep, I'll do it. Done. All right, next. And just like doing it the same way, or letting somebody else tell you what to do and you not pushing back. You just, keep up with the phases, keep up with the pattern. Why change the game? Blah, blah, blah. If you lean in September, lean into the King of Wands energy, and you're like, you know what? Actually, I think if we do it this way, we could get, better revenue, ROI, whatever, or KPIs will change, whatever it is that you do in terms of your job. Others will see that and be like, oh, you know what? I think we could probably do that with the beta project too, or whatever it is. And they start recognizing, they're like, wow, that was a fantastic idea. Why didn't you, we need more of that. What else you got, Chief? Like, you start leaning into that energy, they'll start, people will recognize that. If this is in terms of, say, a relationship, whether budding or current romance, whatever it might be, that if you are leaning into your authentic self, if you recognize that your old patterns are no longer serving you, and that by breaking out of your old ways leads you into a state of like, you know what? I am going to express myself. I'm going to find creative ways to connect with this person, or I'm going to find time to express how I feel, or whatever it is. As you're giving this person these little moments, or big moments, however it works out, that they're going to recognize that too. And they'll be like, wow, I see you giving more of yourself to me. I'm going to give more of myself as well. And you start building that out, right? Which then guides us into the King of Cups energy that will lead us into October. And the King of Cups, again, is about like that emotional expression of love and fulfillment. That the King of Wands is about expressing yourself. King of Cups is about loving thyself, right? Loving you, loving me, loving her, loving them, whatever it is. Like, when you're in this position, like, you're top of the world in terms of like emotional fulfillment. So we're going to ask the super attractor cards, what mantra, what energy, what tips does the universe have? Does the great divine have? Wow, okay. We got, is this 3? No, we don't do 3. 3 is too much, because then it's all over the place, right? Then it's like, glitter, unicorn, sparkles. Like, it's, it's too much. But we want to know, Celestial Divine, what energy, tip, advice do you have for Scorpio to embody this ultimate, expression of themselves? Like, King of Cups is the ultimate expression of a water sign in terms of, like, in my opinion, and how I read the King of Cups, in terms of like your emotional fulfillment. Like, Scorpios have so much depth to them. Like, it is just like, where are we going? Are we still swimming down? Jesus Christ. Like, there's so much to your personality, to your emotional expression, to your intellectual capability. A lot of people underestimate that. They just think like Scorpios like to get down and dirty because they're willing to go as far as they need to get what they want. But in reality, Scorpios are more so willing to express and to dive in and to own what interests them, even if it means going deep and going dark, that you're willing to go to those dark spaces, because in the end, when you come up for air, like when you hold your breath for a long time underwater and you finally get to the surface, and that gulp is just like the first breath you've ever taken, almost, right? It's painful, but it is just utter relief that you got to the surface before you passed the hell out, right? And so that's what the King of Cups energy represents to me. It's like, finally, we're at the top. We're taking that breath. Everything's great. Like, the sun is shining. We are smiling in it because we ain't dead. Like, it didn't kill us. Going down deep and holding our breath and waiting for who knows what's going to happen. Suffocation, drowning, a hand coming down to save us. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, but you make the choice to go down. And I think as you're leading out of September and into October, the best way to get to that space, to get to the surface, is what hopefully this next card will reveal. just patiently waiting for the super attractor cards to give us 1. I will accept 2, because Scorpio got a lot going on here, right? You trying to ask them to drop a whole lot here, to literally change how they react to the world around them. Again, this is this is advice, this is insight, tarot does not predict the future. It just presents the landscape in which you're operating. And yet, no, this reading won't resonate with everyone. But for those it does resonate with, like, this reading is asking a lot of you to take these big steps. But as you take these steps, as you recognize that, you know what, I can't do things the way I used to, because nothing's ever going to change. And I know I'm not happy in this situation. I know I want more from this relationship. I know I can do better in this job. I just got to own that. I got to recognize that if I want it to be better, I got to do something about it. I got to act on it. And you'll know in that, you know, as these moments present themselves in the month of September, you'll likely recognize it and see it. And you're like, yeah, how would I normally react? I would probably just like send an email stating, yes, the job is done, even though I know the job could be better, right? Or I know that I could get the job done sooner, but I'm going to, you know, I usually just wait until the last minute because I know that's what they expect of me. Oh, okay. We got our card. All right. So again, King of Cups, how are you, Scorpio, getting to this space of ultimate like love expression, right? You're recognizing your gifts, you're empowering yourself, you're inspiring others. How do we get to this energy getting out of October? And it's, I feel my way into faith one step at a time. And what do you frickin' know? It has a moon. Why wouldn't it have a moon? It's, I mean, just the connectivity here. So what this card is saying is, the more you recognize that the steps that you're taking, yes, they're very new. They're going into a direction that you're not familiar with. It is, you know, you're breaking away from old habits and patterns. That as you're doing that, you're going to find yourself aligning more and more with your true passions, right? With your true love feels. That every step that you take is a critical one, right? It may feel like you're on a little rope bridge over a cavernous ravine that could end in your ultimate demise. But should you get across, should you continue making these steps across this bridge, which, you know, all the depth that you have within you, Scorpio, it may feel like one wrong move and suddenly you're sinking. If you allow yourself to be led by your creative expressions, the way things make you feel, your passions for a project, a person, a place, or a thing, you can get to that surface. You can get to the other side and be like, whew, we made it. And you can take that breath of refreshment and fulfillment and know that it wasn't that hard. No, it's going to be hard, right? Because this is outside your normal. But you're in a space where you can recognize that. And as these moments present themselves, these moments to give a little bit more of yourself in September, you'll see how they add up. You see that every step that you take towards becoming this King of Wands is another step closer to the surface for you. But all right, Scorpio, this is your September read. Again, if it resonates, fantastic. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. If it didn't quite resonate, feel free to check out your other sign videos. And yeah, good luck, Godspeed, and I will see you on the other side in October.